You ever have one of those light bulb moments, a brilliant idea for a project, but then you get stuck? Like, how do you actually make it happen? Yeah, we've all been there. Turning that flash of inspiration into a real data-driven project can feel, well, pretty overwhelming. But what if you had a clear blueprint? Okay, let's dive in and map this thing out. I love this quote. It really gets to the heart of the matter, doesn't it? Data is literally all around us, just packed with stories and insights. But to unlock them, to really hear what that data is trying to tell you, you've got to have a plan. It's not just about collecting a bunch of numbers. It's about getting yourself ready to listen to the story they're waiting to tell. So, yeah, that is the big question, isn't it? How do you become that storyteller? Well, it all starts by moving past just having the idea and actually building a solid framework around it. And that's exactly what we're going to do right now. We're breaking down a step-by-step guide to planning a project that can make a real impact. All right, step one. And honestly, this is probably the most critical part of the whole process. You have to get specific. A great project never starts with some huge, vague topic. No, it starts with a question, and not just any question, a question you can actually answer. It's all about shifting from a wide, blurry area of interest to a sharp, crystal clear focus. Think about it like this. Your project needs a target. Without one, you're basically just shooting an arrow into the dark, right? This is where you zero in and define exactly what you're trying to figure out. It's the huge difference between just wandering around and conducting a focused investigation. Okay, let's make this super practical. Take a broad topic like campus sustainability. I mean, it's a great topic, but it's huge. Where would you even start? But what if you narrowed it down and asked, how much food waste does our main cafeteria produce every day? Boom. See the difference? All of a sudden, you have a clear path. You know exactly what data you need to find. That's a project. So here's the deal. Your question really has to pass a 4-point check. First, is it clear? Like, does everyone on your team get it? Second, is it measurable? Can you actually find data to answer it? Third, is it relevant? Does it actually matter to a real-world problem? And finally, is it ethical? You have to make sure you're protecting everyone involved. If you can tick all 4 of those boxes, you've got a rock-solid foundation for your project. Okay, so you've nailed down your question. What's next? You need a crew. Look, very few of these data stories are a solo act. Collaboration is absolutely key. And that means putting a team together where every single person has a clear, vital role to play. A really great team works like a well-oiled machine. And it's not just about throwing a bunch of smart people in a room together. It's about defining who does what, so everyone can bring their A game without stepping on each other's toes. Trust me, getting this clarity up front saves you from so many headaches down the road. So let's break down these core roles. You've got your data lead, who's in charge of the numbers, your digital designer, who makes everything look great and easy to understand, then the writer/presenter, the person who actually crafts the narrative, and then there's the ethics reviewer. Now, this role is so important. They're not just a final checkpoint. They're the person who ensures you're building trust from day one. Trust with your audience, trust with your sources, because without that trust, honestly, even the most amazing data becomes worthless. All right, you've got your question, you've got your team. Now it's time for the roadmap. We're talking about your project proposal. And listen, this is way more than just a piece of paper. It's the architectural blueprint that's going to guide every single decision you make from this point forward. Your proposal really just needs to cover these 5 essential things. First, your title and problem statement, basically what you're looking into. Second, your objectives. What do you want to accomplish? Third, your method, the how. What data and tools are you going to use? Fourth, your expected output. What are you actually going to make? And finally, the timeline, which keeps the whole thing on track. And speaking of timelines, let's talk about a super important word, milestone. A milestone isn't just some random date you circle on the calendar. Nope, it's a real measurable achievement. Think of things like data collection is 100% complete, or first draft of the visuals is done. Milestones are how you actually know you're moving forward. This is a great way to visualize how it all comes together. A good timeline has these big, major milestones, right? But just as important are those regular check-ins. Those quick, consistent meetings are where the magic happens. It's where you solve problems as a team and make sure everyone's on the same page. It's how you stop little issues from snowballing into huge problems. So why go through all this planning? For this. This is the payoff. The end goal is to bring everything together.
your data, your analysis, your design into one final product that is clear, compelling, and finally tells that story you set out to discover in the first place. It could be an awesome digital dashboard like this, or maybe an interactive website, or a really killer presentation.
Okay, we're getting close to the end, but we've saved something absolutely crucial. And I want to be clear, this isn't the last step you take, it's a principle you have to build in from the very, very beginning. Every single project needs an ethos, a moral compass to guide it.
Ethics are not an add-on. They're not some box you check off at the last minute. They are the foundation of the entire project. Anytime you're working with data, especially when it's about people, you're taking on a huge responsibility. Your project's credibility, its integrity, it all rests on this ethical foundation. And that means you have to ask some tough questions as a team. Right from the get-go, did we get informed consent to use this data? Are our sources legit, and are we citing them properly? And maybe most important of all, are we keeping all personal data secure and anonymous? The answer to every single one of those questions has to be a resounding yes. So, when you boil it all down, what's the key takeaway? It's this. A project plan isn't just boring paperwork. It's the skeleton, the structure for the story your data wants to tell. It's what turns all that random noise into a clear signal, and it's what transforms a fleeting idea into something with real-world impact. This Alan Laken quote just nails it, doesn't it? Planning is bringing the future into the present. That is exactly what a good project plan does. You're not just making a to-do list. You are literally pulling a future goal, that insight, that answer, that impact you're chasing, into right now, making it real, one step at a time.
So there you have it. You have the blueprint to go from a simple idea to a real, powerful, data-driven story. Now the only question left is, what story are you gonna tell?